nestled in the majestic hills of Normal, in the beautiful city of Huntsville, Alabama, home to the largest HBCU in Alabama. It's a special day on Normal's Hill. Football, the band, fans, tailgating, Bulldog Nation, homecoming is here. Let's get started with On the Hill Live.
This is Alabama A&M on the Hill Live, presented by WAFF 48.
We're live at Lewis Cruz Stadium for our broadcast of On the Hill Live, powered by WAFF 48. I'm your host, Athletic Director Paul A. Bryant. I also have the man with me, John Stallworth. He's going to join me today, but we've been celebrating all week for AAMU Homecoming Double XL. We've had concerts, step shows, motivational speakers, block parties, pep rallies, fans, all welcome here back on the Hill. John, what do you think about this atmosphere?
Paul, this is fantastic. It is fantastic. This is Alabama A&M football. This is black college football, and we're here to enjoy, and we're going to have a good time.
We're going to have a good time. You know what? We said that the band and the football team, they have to do their things anyway.
Right.
We're worried about everything else, and we are excited to have everything going on here on the Hill today.
Well, we're excited about what you're doing. Happy to have you as part of our athletic staff and the head of our athletic staff. We're excited to have you here and excited about the things that you're doing.
You know what? I love that. That came from John Stallworth. So now we're going to do a little recap from last week. Let's take a look back at the last game for the Bulldogs. It was our first Thursday night game of the season, and we took on those Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff, but we did well. We won, so that's okay. So the UAPB Lions were able to get on the scoreboard first, but the Bulldogs responded with a field goal, making the score 7-3. However, our Bulldogs were able to take the lead after QB Quincy Casey spotted Terrell Garner in the end zone for a touchdown, having the Bulldogs lead 10-7. The Bulldogs come out strong in the third quarter to tie the score 17-17. The Bulldogs scored 2 more touchdowns and pulled away with the win, 31-24. 31-24. That was our opening win for the conference, so we were excited about that. John Stallworth. John Stallworth, everybody. John is the man. I call him the man. He assisted me in getting here, so I'm excited about that. But, you know, we all know John Stallworth as number 82. Everyone knows about the NFL Hall of Fame. Everyone knows that. But what I'm here to ask you, tell me a little bit about you. Tell me what brought you to Alabama A&M.
Well, A&M was actually, in all truthfulness, A&M was the only team that recruited me out of high school. The only one. I played for a high school team that won 1 game in 2 years. So it was probably pretty hard to believe that there was anybody that could play on that team. But one of my close friends' father is a graduate of A&M.
Okay.
And so he came to play and made some contacts, and I got that one scholarship offer to Alabama A&M.
Oh, wow.
And Paul, it changed my life.
Yes.
It changed my life, and so I had 4 good years at Alabama A&M, an All-American here, and then drafted into the NFL and with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and heck, we won four Super Bowls in my first 6 years there.
4 Super Bowls in 6?
In 6 years.
That's what I was
And so from there, we had a good career and we played well enough over the time to be selected to Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yes, yes. And you know, that's such a major feat for someone who didn't have but 1 scholarship. So when you were on the Hill, what dorm did you live in?
Well, it's the dorm that they don't use anymore. If I call a name, nobody would know about
Really?
it. Right, but we started in that dorm, then we ended up in Grayson Hall.
Grayson, yep.
And so for the last 2 years of my time here, we were in Grayson Hall. And it was a good time. It was a football dorm.
Okay. Yeah.
Only football players in that dorm. To say that we were quiet and reserved and we did everything right probably would be a mistake.
Right. Well, that's typical of some student athletes when we're all together. But you know what? As you were matriculating through school, tell me what professor made the most profound impact on your life?
There were a number of them, and I can't single out one, but I do know coming away from classes with a feeling that the professors there, that I was in their classes, felt that they wanted to help me.
Right.
There was a relationship, a sincere belief that I was here and they could help me get to where I needed to go to.
Yeah.
And that inspired me.
Yeah.
They cared about John Stallworth, and not just John Stallworth, the athlete. I think they cared about all the students that were in their classes. And so, when you came to A&M, it was an environment that you felt nurtured in, you felt comfortable in. And it endeared you to the university, and I think it breeded for success later on in life. Yeah,
you talk about success. Again, we could talk about your football acumen all day, and we know it's long, but you're a successful business owner. And why don't you tell us a little bit about your business?
We started a business a year after I retired from football, an engineering firm that we started with 3 people. We still got a lot of support from the federal government, the Department of Defense, the Navy, Strategic Defense Command, and we did some work overseas. Wow. We grew that company from 3 people to a little bit over 800 people.
Wow.
And then a few years back, we had a company approached us and wanted to buy us as a company.
Yes.
And let me say it was a good deal.
Yes.
So it worked out well. We leveraged those funds, and to the point now that we are now part owner in Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow, that's amazing. And you know, and it's interesting, you know, most student athletes and other athletes, again, they love to talk about your football. But I really want to know, I think you have a bride that has been the best part of you. So tell us about your bride.
Well, I met my wife here my freshman year.
Yes.
We started dating my freshman year, and we dated all the way through school. Her name is Flo, and hopefully she'll watch this and see that I called her name. But I graduated one weekend. I got married the next.
Oh. Wow.
Got drafted by the Steelers in January of that year. So we didn't have a honeymoon. I went to training camp and fortunate enough to make the team, and she joined me. But we've been together. Next year, the 150 for the university is our 50th wedding anniversary.
Wow, that's a huge congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
So we talk about that 150, and you're leading the charge there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing to lead that charge as we approach the 150?
Certainly, just being a person in front for the university and showing, I think, what the possibilities are.
Yes.
You know, we talked about my story and coming out of high school and what I was able to accomplish coming through A&M and later on. I think it's a great story for young folks who may feel like they're in a situation that it's difficult to get out of, that there's no positive things happening in their lives. I think, you know, coming to Alabama A&M changes that. And I mentioned earlier, it changed my life. It changed where I was going and what I was doing. I had an opportunity to see folks that were doing amazing things that looked like me.
Right.
And so coming out of high school, I didn't see a whole lot of that.
Yes.
And so that was leverage. That was an incentive for me to move forward. Again, those people caring about me.
Right.
Was an incentive to move forward. So Alabama A&M is a place that comes and dreams can be realized.
Yes, it can. Ladies and gentlemen, we have John Stallworth here. And John, I want to thank you for joining us here on the Hill Live. Coming up next, we have our General Counsel, Miss Rochelle Conley. We'll be back.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Yes. Hold on. We'll look at the...
These messages are brought to you by Sam's Club. In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
48 on your side, the Valley's most watched local news.
It's about knowing what's happening in your community, being there when the big story breaks, cutting right through the details to keep your family safe.
And from sunny to severe, 48 First Alert Weather keeps track of it all, putting decades of experience to work, keeping you ahead of Mother Nature.
Local news and weather, where you need it, when you need it, on air, online, and on your smart TV.
WAFF 48 on your side.
My name is Carlos Epperson with A&T Automotive, a proud sponsor of Alabama A&M on the Hill Live. At A&T Automotive, we pride ourselves on fast, reliable, and honest service. With over 5 years in service at this location and over 18 years of experience, we've come to know our customers as family. And as family, we like to take care of you as fast and responsibly as possible. We also specialize in engines, transmissions, and all of your other automotive needs. So come on down to A&T Automotive, where we would love to take care of you and your car needs.
I'm Jeremy Bellick, a drum major for the Alabama A&M University, marching maroon and white. And we have some exciting news for you. We're headed to the 2023 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. But first, we need you. Support our trip at amu.edu/Macy's today. Tune in Thanksgiving morning to see us put on a show you won't forget.
Calling all current HBCU students. BET wants to give you $500. BET's HB-We-See-You program is shining a light on the brilliance of HBCUs, showing that HBCUs are where Black excellence lives. Go to hbweseeyou.live and tell us what your HBCU means to you, and you can win $500.
At Alabama A&M University, we have one of the largest HBCU ROTC programs in the country. We recently celebrated our 50th year as a program and recently commissioned our 1,000th officer in the United States Army. Our cadets are trained on physical readiness training, basic rifle marksmanship, land navigation, along with a litany of other tasks. If you're a student at Alabama A&M, Athens State University, UAH, Oakwood University, and you're interested in joining the United States Army and becoming an Army officer, please contact our recruiting officer, Mr. Kevin Hughes, and go Bulldogs.
Go!
Staging brought to you by Mullins Special Occasions, the premier rental provider of North Alabama.
Welcome back to On the Hill Live, and we're excited. First of all, I have to acknowledge our baseball program. Our baseball program, those guys are here. So look at them. Look at them. They're ready. I tell you, it's great. It's great having our student athletes here. But right now, we have our legal source, our chief legal advisor, our attorney, Rochelle A. Conley. I had to get that in, Mom, because I know how you feel about that. Hey, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. So we're just going to have a brief conversation about how you are and how you were on the Hill when you were a student. Tell me a little bit about your experience.
So I started here the fall of 1995. I know I'm dating myself.
Yes.
And I was a secondary education, history and political science major.
Okay.
And so I had a great time here on the Hill. I had great professors. People just embraced you. I remember my orientation where we learned the university hymn, and it has stuck with me to this day.
So you can sing it now?
I can sing it
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah, so, but I enjoyed my time here on the Hill. It was one of the best decisions I think I've ever made.
Yeah.
When I think of the institutions that helped my life, just structured it,
Really?
Alabama A&M is in the top 3.
Is that right? That's
Yeah.
awesome. So,
Yeah.
you know, you start here, you can go anywhere, but you
Yeah.
decide to come back. But you coming back has been monumental for us.
Oh,
and
my
so tell me a little bit your decision to come back on the Hill to help serve us.
So I was a lawyer in
Yeah.
private practice. I had a firm downtown. I was in court probably 3 to 4 times a week, just really doing trial work. And the university approached me about this position, and I thought long and hard about it. But, you know, I'm passionate about the university. We believe service is sovereignty.
Yeah, absolutely.
So because of that, you know, I really considered it. And in doing so, I worked very hard. If I was going to put my name in the hat, I wanted to make sure I put my best foot forward. So I, you know, really worked with, you know, a team of people to get me ready for the interview,
Yeah.
you know, to do my best, because I always want to represent Alabama A&M well.
Well, you know, I was a part of that search committee. So even doing your best, you did beyond. But you know, when we talk about representing the institution, tell us what that actually means. You know, people say, well, you're representing the institution, but what does that actually mean?
So in representing the institution, I always have to weigh it heavily. I cannot make decisions as an alum. I have to make decisions based upon my legal training.
Right.
And so sometimes they conflict.
Yes.
But my goal is to always make decisions that are best for the university. They may not be popular, which I've learned, but you know, I'm always putting the university first in making those decisions. And sometimes even we have to compromise, but when I'm compromising, I'm always making sure that I don't compromise the students, because I've been a student before. So every decision that I look to make is student-centered, student-focused, and I want to make sure our student athletes are doing well, our student auxiliary members. I
Yes.
want to make sure I'm making the best decisions for them.
And you know what, you have done that. You know, you and I work on several projects together. One of the things I will say, you are probably the hardest working person I've seen. And you put in those hours. How do you balance that?
So when you're working hard for your favorite client, it doesn't seem like work.
Right.
You know, sometimes it can be frustrating, but you know, I love this place.
Yeah.
I went to preschool here. I know I'm dating myself, but I went to preschool here. My parents met and married as a result of going to school here. I have several first cousins who went to school here. My aunt and uncle went to school here. And so, you know, I'm passionate about this place.
Yes.
But even with all the family ties I have, I still have a duty to represent my client to the best of my ability.
You know,
and I try to do that.
And you know, they always say the greatest thing you can do for an institution is send your children, and you've been sent by multiple people. And so I have one more question for you. What are some of the things you like to do to pass time when you're not spending 22 hours? What are you doing those other 2 hours?
I know. Sleeping now. I'm a part of a lot of organizations. One organization I joined when I was a student here.
Okay.
And so...
What is that?
Oh, Delta Sigma Theta sorority.
Okay.
So I love my Delta sorors, and so I've supported them. I do a lot of nonprofit work.
Yes.
So that is really rewarding. I attend Union Chapel Missionary Baptist Church, so I try to give back to my church as well.
That's awesome. Well, you know, we have Rochelle A. Conley here, and we are so happy that you joined us today. But coming up next is one of our student athletes. She's one of the best in the business. She has over 60,000 followers. Wait till you see who she is. Miss Amaya Simmons. You want to stick around. Come on back to On the Hill Live.
These messages are brought to you by Sam's Club.
In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
48 on your side, the Valley's most watched local news.
It's about knowing what's happening in your community, being there when the big story breaks, cutting right through the details to keep your family safe.
And from sunny to severe, 48 First Alert Weather keeps track of it all, putting decades of experience to work, keeping you ahead of Mother Nature.
Local news and weather, where you need it, when you need it. On air, online, and on your smart TV.
WAFF 48 on your side.
My name is Carlos Epperson with A&T Automotive, a proud sponsor of Alabama A&M on the Hill Live. At A&T Automotive, we pride ourselves on fast, reliable, and honest service. With over 5 years in service at this location and over 18 years of experience, we've come to know our customers as family. And as family, we like to take care of you as fast and responsibly as possible. We also specialize in engines, transmissions, and all of your other automotive needs. So come on down to A&T Automotive, where we would love to take care of you and your car needs.
I'm Jeremy Bellick, a drum major for the Alabama A&M University, marching maroon and white. And we have some exciting news for you. We're headed to the 2023 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. But first, we need you. Support our trip at AMU.edu/Macy's today. Tune in Thanksgiving morning to see us put on a show you won't forget.
Calling all current HBCU students. BET wants to give you $500. BET's HBWeCU program is shining a light on the brilliance of HBCUs, showing that HBCUs are where Black excellence lives. Go to HBWeCU.live and tell us what your HBCU means to you, and you can win $500.
At Alabama A&M University, we have one of the largest HBCU ROTC programs in the country. We recently celebrated our 50th year as a program and recently commissioned our 1,000th officer in the United States Army. Our cadets are trained on physical readiness training, basic rifle marksmanship, land navigation, along with a litany of other tasks. If you're a student at Alabama A&M, Athens State University, UAH, Oakwood University, and you're interested in joining the United States Army and becoming an Army officer, please contact our recruiting officer, Mr. Kevin Hughes, and go Bulldogs.
Go! Staging brought to you by Mullins Special Occasions, the premier rental provider of North Alabama.
Welcome back to On the Hill Live. I have to tell you, look behind me. We got our cheerleaders, our world-famous cheerleaders here to help support On the Hill Live. We're excited to always have them on set. But now, we have to talk to one of our best student athletes on the campus, Miss Amaya Simmons. We're happy to have you, Miss Simmons. Now tell me, where are you from?
I'm from Kansas, Osawatomie, Kansas.
Who?
Osawatomie.
Oh, okay. So we want to make sure we got that right, okay? Now, what brought you to Alabama A&M?
I really came here because I was out of Division II and I wanted to play Division I basketball. And I thought it'd be pretty cool to go to a HBCU. So yeah, that's why I came here.
That's awesome. You know what? And you have done exceptionally well here. But you know, we talk about your basketball. We could talk about that all day. Just like I was talking to Mr. Stallworth and his football acumen. But you corrected me earlier. I misspoke. I said, yeah, I'm so excited to see you got 60,000 followers on social media. She said, excuse me, no, I have 90,000 on TikTok. Tell me, how did all that come about?
Really, I just posted my content and just day-to-day what I do. A lot of basketball stuff, dancing, you know, whatever. And
dancing?
Yep.
So, okay, so I'm going to come back to that during the season. Okay. I get to see you dancing.
You can dance with me, too.
How about, no. I got the Bryant bounce, is that all right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good. Good. So, as we talk about your time on the Hill, tell me some experiences that you've had that has been very successful in you being positive on this campus like you are.
I really like just being in the atmosphere. I never really knew what it'd be like to be at a HBCU, but the football games are really exciting. The crowds that come to our games, they really support women's basketball, and I have a lot of fun playing out there on the court.
Yeah, I can tell you have fun, but you know what? If you're not having fun, then I wouldn't want you to do it.
Right.
And that's something that we're excited why you're here on this team. So, what classes are you taking? What is your major? Tell me a little bit about that.
My major is psychology.
Oh, so you're playing that psychology game. That's what you were doing earlier. Got it. What do you want to do post A&M?
I want to play overseas
Okay.
first, and then I really want to live in California and continue my social media career.
Continue. So if you're talking about going overseas, what's your position?
I'm a guard.
Guard, point, shooter?
Shooter, driver.
Shooter, driver. So you just told the opponents what you can do, right? They can't stop you?
No.
Oh, okay. So once you get done and you're overseas playing, are you trying to truly make that a career, or you really want to hone in on your social media?
Yeah, I want to play basketball for as long as I can. That has always been my passion. But after a while, you have to find something else. And I really enjoy doing social media. So if I could make a career out of that, I will.
Okay, good. Now your teammates. I saw a couple of your teammates here. How close are you with your teammates?
We're really close. That's also why I love being here at A&M. We hang out all the time. They're just always there to support us whenever, so I'm really grateful to have them.
What about your other student athletes? We have all these teams. Do they show you love?
Yeah, they do. They're always there at the games. Everyone here, it's great just to be close to all those student athletes.
Yeah, so we have a good culture here of inclusivity, and I have seen you involved. Tell me about your workouts and some in the weight room and on the court. How long do you work out during the day?
We work out. We're up at 4. I'm up at 4 a.m. for our 5:30 practice. Then we have weights in the afternoon. We're really busy, but we're really trying to get ready for this season because we have unfinished business.
We do have unfinished business. Now, I'm going to hold you to that. You have been a great success here at Alabama A&M. I appreciate you being here on set. And how can we follow you?
You guys can follow me on TikTok at Amaya Papaya, and Instagram is Amaya Simmons with 2 S's at the end.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Miss Amaya Papaya Simmons. But we have some game day info that we want to share with you. We have some know before you go information. Our homecoming game here versus Tuskegee starts at 2 p.m. There are reasons we're calling A&M XXL homecoming. Seating at Lewis Cruz Stadium has 21,000, and guess what? Today, this game is sold out. That's right, it is sold out. But if you're looking for parking information, you may find it on aamusports.com. Don't forget, our Lewis Cruz Stadium has a clear bag policy. I'm your host, Dr. Paul A. Bryant. Thank you for joining us. We want to thank all of the fans that have been here. We want to thank, of course, those fans from Ohio that are here. I always have to throw that in. But we want to thank you. Thank all of our sponsors for sponsoring this show. And as always, go Bulldogs! Go!